So where are you at right now?
What's up, Brian? Hey, I'm down here, uh, sitting next to a pond right alongside the Boise River. Very serene, peaceful little place, and I think I found another new songwriting spot.
Oh, sweet. Well, hey man, we're gonna get into it here. This is gonna be one of our first podcasts, so we're gonna start it out. Hey there, pizza lovers and music fans. Welcome to the first ever Crustys Addict podcast, live from McCall, Idaho. I'm your host, Brian Ward. Our guest is the one and only Brandon Pritchett, aka The Nation. With a spicy mix of gospel, jazz, soul, blues, reggae, country, and hip hop, Brandon's performances at Krusty's are pure magic. Get ready for some tasty stories about his musical journey and why he keeps coming back to our pizza loving town. Let's dive in. All right, Brandon. We'll start with how did you first get connected with Krusty's Pizza in McCall, and what made you want to perform here?
Man, it's been quite a few years since I first played at Krusty's. I think definitely it was before you were the owner. Um, there's a local celebrity, and he's a little bit bigger now than just local. His name's Jeff Crosby, and he always used to play at Krusty's Pizza, and I just never knew where Krusty's Pizza was. It's a little off the beaten path there in McCall.
Yeah, it
So
is.
one day I ended up figuring it out and getting booked in there, and it was one of those splits where you're playing between the yacht club and Krusty's. It was like the dual gig type thing. Um, First experience was amazing. It's changed a lot and for the better. And I played there a few times, and then ended up meeting you, Brian, and then you brought me back in there, and I can't say enough about how generous you've been, how generous the staff's always been, how amazing the pizza is. It's my favorite pizza. Um, yeah, after the first time I played, I was hooked, and then after I played for you, I was even more hooked. It's a comfortable place to play, very relaxing, very refreshing, and it gets you in that sense of you're in the mountains, and
Sure.
just naturally you're gonna feel more at ease, and the people are pretty easygoing, and so I just love playing up there.
Awesome, man. Hey, can you share with us just about the kind of musical journey, how you started playing, influences that shaped your style?
Yeah, it's funny you asked that question. I did grow up singing in a church choir, but never really knew that I knew how to sing. I just kind of did the singing in the church. My parents both sing, but I wouldn't consider them professional singers, but they both are pretty good voices. My brother sings, my little sister sings. And then I registered late for high school, and they said, "Hey, you have to do an elective." And I said, "All right, what do we got? Like wood shop? What do we have?" And they said, "Well, the only thing left is choir." And I said, "Choir? I don't know about that. I'm in high school now. I gotta sing in the choir." And they were like, "Yeah, there's some pretty girls in there." So sure enough, went into did that. That was my freshman year. Sophomore year, did it again. Then junior year, I was in the jazz choir, which is like the more advanced type stuff, learning about the jazz music, and then I was hooked on jazz music. Some of the greats. My CD collection became pretty packed with jazz music.
In
Um,
high school,
yeah, that's
out of all of it, yeah.
yeah.
What other music was in your collection?
The classics. I had the Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, the Chronic album in there.
Yep,
Trying to
definitely.
think. I had a wide range of 60s music, 70s music, some 80s music, all the 90s hits. And then it was mostly mixtapes from, you know, people that would record stuff, and CD burning and all that stuff was pretty hot when
Yeah,
I was junior, senior year.
yeah. Back in the day, you'd have to play the CD and like record it onto tape, and then get another track, pause it, like move it around.
Absolutely. Yeah,
um,
so all the hits. It was kind of a fun little era to grow up in for sure. and then got to time to register for college, and thought maybe I would be playing baseball in college, but I ended up with a jazz music scholarship. So naturally, I went with that. Whoever's going to pay for the school, right?
Right. Right.
And then went on to do, you know, about 100 performances those first two each year, first 2 years in college, with a jazz ensemble, and the jazz vocabulary became even more shaped and bigger foundation. And I feel like that has given me the platform and the foundation to be able to attack any style of music in my writing, in learning cover tunes, in performing. Um, and yeah, all these years later, 30 years later, I'm still performing. And
Well, something kind of thinks sets you apart is you have like a really unique voice. I mean, I can hear you from a mile away. I can know, hey man, that's Brandon Pritchett down there in downtown Boise, down there busking. Like, I mean, I can hear that from a mile away, man. When did you really kind of like come into that? When did you about what age or about when did you come into like finding that voice of yours?
I was born with a raspy voice. My mom said you've always had a raspy voice. Um, Maybe I screamed a lot as a kid. I don't know. But
Sure.
in the last, I feel like each year it comes more into the comfortability and the for sureness of this is my voice. And that comes with people requesting songs. They say, you remind me of this or you remind me of that. And through it all, I've grown to like find my own tone, and it's very soulful, very bluesy, raspy.
Yeah.
um
Yeah. I agree.
and I think that incorporates through a lot of genres. It's funny because when I was going to school in Portland, I sang in the Portland Symphonic Choir, which is like choral music, not opera, but choral music, where you're singing Brahms and Beethoven and crazy stuff. Um, and that gave me that, the kind of operatic type voice,
Yep.
very straight tone. You're singing in, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, bass two. I've sang low bass. I've sang bass, bass one, bass two, tenor one, tenor two. So it's a very wide range of vocally. Where I'm most comfortable is I feel like we're most I'm a baritone who can sing those high tenor notes, but can also
Hmm.
hit those low bass notes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but yeah, I love anything, gospel, soulful, raspy, jazz. I love country
Yeah.
music. Like I said, a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of
Yeah.
blues.
Yeah.
So
There's some twists in there. Um, So kind of get into like playing here at Crusty's and just kind of the musical experience here at Crusty's. What sets playing at Crusty's apart from other venues that you perform at in Idaho? And also like how's our like unique atmosphere shape the way that you perform and connect with the audience here as well?
absolutely. First and foremost, it's my favorite pizza, so that keeps bringing me back. The little crusty. That's what I always go with. Um, Besides that, like I was saying earlier, being in the mountains, the minute you get up to the tree line, it's like a breath of fresh air. So I feel like all artists, including myself, we love being up in the mountains. It's good for our soul. It's good for our writing. It's good for relaxing. On top of that, being at Krusty's, you walk in there and you got that the way a pizzeria is supposed to smell and feel.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So already you got those vibes going, and the staff's always very warm, welcoming. They enjoy their artists. They thank them. I think it's a very um, communal thing between the artists and the staff up there. Is the staff wants the artist to feel comfortable, and the artists want to play even better because they're in the mountains, and they're playing for people that live in the mountains or on vacation. So everyone usually is in a pretty good mood. which is already ahead of the game as a musician playing for people. And they just really enjoy it. That energy goes back to the artist. The artist feels that, wants to give even more. There's a guy named Josh Hoyer there a few years ago. His band's amazing. And I was up there, and he was on tour, and his voice was
Oh
pretty
yeah.
low energy as far as he was almost hoarse, but
Yeah.
he still gave 150% that
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
And
Couldn't
that's
talk
that's
at the end of the night, but he
yeah.
sung all the way through the night.
Yeah, he played for three and a half hours
Yeah.
with his
Straight.
band.
Straight.
and
Those guys don't ever take a break. It's incredible.
and that's just like what I'm talking about is that energy. The artist
Yeah.
feels it, the people that are there listening feel it. They look comfortable, the staff is comfortable, they enjoy making those pizzas, and watching people smile up there, and that's truly what it is. Crusties is just definitely its own place. You can go to a different venue in McCall and you're not going to get that same vibe.
Yeah.
You're just not. And
So on that, what's been like one of your most like memorable like interactions with our crowd here at Krusty's? I mean, you've played here a lot. I mean, we have you, I don't know, at least I would say once every month and a half, if not more. You know.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So I
There's
mean,
some.
you spent a lot of time here.
Well, I enjoy being up there. It's like I said, it's a refreshing environment. It's always good to get out of the city life, be up in the mountains, smelling the pine trees, smelling the smoke in the air. Just a different way of life, which is a lot of times people in the world won't even get to experience that. So
I mean, I
being
think what I've seen is like I've seen you let people. I mean, I've seen you let people get up on stage with you and play
right,
drums. People get up and sing with you. You know, if they request a song, like you've got this repertoire of like 300 plus songs. It seems like that you can just kind of like pull out. Yeah, sometimes you might have to look at it a little bit, but like I mean, you just continue to kill it. And so I mean, you're definitely one of our local favorites here. And people are really excited to like have you come. We've got you on Friday as well, so I mean we're really excited to have you come up here for that.
yeah, I'm so excited to be up there. That's Friday the 19th, so I think
Yep.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yep.
um like you said, there's been different drummers that have come up. They've bring their own gear, set up shop, played, and I think that's amazing. um Especially people that don't normally play gigs, they get up there, they feel that confidence, and that's that
Hmm.
same vibe I'm talking about. Is
Hmm.
the atmosphere is provided for me. I'm able to take that atmosphere and create the environment for people that want to get up on stage. We've had joke tellers. I know.
Yeah, including my daughter, your son, and
Yeah,
your son will get up and sing with you sometimes too,
that's
right?
right. Yep,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
made a few performances. We get people that come from Donley. We get people that come from New Meadows. We got people that are driving across the lake from McCall,
Yeah.
and it's starting to become this like really cool. Um, what's the word I'm looking for? This like communal groove, I guess you would say. Um,
Yeah, and
you
I
know,
think in a community that's kind of lost its identity over the last like 5 years, 6 years, especially since like pandemic time, right? I mean, that just shook everything up, shook all of our music up. Like we couldn't have our live music. That's what we do. That's what we depend on in it, and so like it shook up all the businesses around, and like when we're able to come back to be that, like giving people that stable environment here, that go to that it's everybody's backyard type feel, and that we get to
absolutely.
have artists come down and play, and majority of the time we're outside, and wintertime we're inside, but having people like yourself come through, it just really helps set the tone and set the atmosphere here. How would you describe the current music scene in McCall and Boise, and how they influence each other, and like what advice would you give to maybe new artists not necessarily like people that are new artists, but maybe new artists to Crusties, right? Like trying to either get into Crusties or just hearing about us, or something along that line, right?
Absolutely. It goes back to the, what style of music do you want to play? What are you expressing as an artist? What kind of atmosphere are you there to support or to create on top of what you already have? Um, it's an interactive crowd, and so you want to make sure that you're giving people what they want to hear. You want to make sure that you're creating, like I said, that space of comfortableness, so people aren't just, you know like you said, people are still coming back from that crazy time we went through, and
Mm-hmm.
and now it's starting to breathe again. It's starting to feel like, yeah, live music will be around. And I think people, um, they're a little bit more picky about what they listen to these days or what they go support, um, knowing that that could be possibly taken away again. And so what
Sure.
they want to do is they post up their lawn chairs, they bring their blankets.
They
Uh,
should bring their own tables.
yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes they bring their
yeah,
own tables, and
yeah,
really it's like the artist needs to know that yes, these people are there to hear them and support them. And just on that note, they need to give back, interaction, talk to the crowd. If you're on set breaks, go out and meet people because they're going to support you.
yeah.
And if you want to take that time and do that, you know, that's going to be a highlight to get you back into Crusties. is
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I hire artists for me, that I want to hear personally. It's like,
Absolutely.
but there's a big difference though when, like, our audience is the one that's kind of like, you know, re-picking that artist, I guess, when it
Yeah.
comes down to,
Yeah.
come up, oh, we love them, when they going to be back, and
Absolutely.
at this point, I think they just expect you to be back, and if you're not, they're like, when is he going to be back? It's
Yeah.
not if, it's more of a win. And and I guess we'll kind of end on that, because we've got you this Friday, September 19th. Looking super forward to having you. We're going to be
Sure.
6 to 9. We're open 4 to 9, and we're going to try to figure out how to get this podcast thing kind of going. I appreciate you doing this first one with us. I'm going to try to maybe see if we can get it on YouTube and all the social media stuff and everything, so that we have this like archived for the future as well, man. So
Absolutely.
really
And
appreciate, man.
just on another note, it's like Krusty's, once I get there, I can feel all the energy. I mean, there's been live music, there's been bands from all over the country that have played there in the last 20, 30 years, right?
Yep.
And just knowing that, it just adds that extra element, um to, hey, this is a place where people from all over the country want to come play. And it's not just a pizza venue. The
Yep.
best pizza on earth is just the icing on the cake. It's a place, it's an atmosphere, it's what it
25 years of live music.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can feel that history in there. I mean, you guys post, posters on the wall of bands that have been there, sign their autographs and stuff, and it's like,
Mhm.
whoa, this person was here, and whoa, this person
Yeah.
was here, and
Yeah.
and
Sometimes
so
people get confused. They're like, they're playing this Friday. We're like, no, that was 10 years ago, man.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And props to you, Brian, on just running an excellent business, and always having a staff there that, they're not there just to make pizza. They're part of it, and
I
same
agree.
with the people.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep creating that, and I'm looking forward to being up there and playing again.
Awesome, brother. All right, man. Well, we're looking forward to Friday, September 19th, 6 o'clock, man. We'll
Yes,
see you
sir.
then.
All
All right,
right.
brother.
Have a
All
great
right.
night.
Take it easy. Later,
You too.
Brandon.
Peace.